was what happened first. And you think about those little kids wondering, is this a drill? Is it not a drill? What do we do? How do we get out? And the teachers, you know, there'll be a lot of stories of what happened inside that school coming out over the next few days.
And unfortunately, there is a lot of preparation that does go into this scenario because it is a reality for all of us now with these active shooter drills. There will be a lot of different ways to look at this, a lot of different stories to tell in the days and the weeks and months ahead. But we know that hopefully here in a few minutes, we're going to be hearing something official from the Uvalde police chief. So we are going to get our 5 o'clock newscast started here just a few minutes. We'll be right back here with you in seconds to give you the very latest on this shooting in Uvalde.
Yeah, 5 o'clock news is up next.
What happened in Uvalde is a horrific tragedy.
14 students and 1 teacher killed at a Uvalde elementary school. The 18-year-old shooter killed by authorities. We're live where the scene unfolded.
And we're about half a block or 1 block away from the school.
And we have a crew where parents are frantic for answers.
What hit me is there's rooms full of parents getting the worst news that they've ever imagined.
We have live team coverage in Uvalde where the school year comes to a tragic end. The news at 5 starts right now.
And we are continuing our coverage of the tragedy that unfolded inside a Uvalde elementary school. This is Sky 12 flying over the scene where 14 students and 1 teacher were killed days before the school year was set to end. The shooter, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, is also dead.
Right now, we know several people are struggling for their lives in the hospital. All this unfolding before noontime at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde.
Our Lee Waldman joins us live from the Civic Center where students were taken to be picked up by their parents. She's been there all afternoon. Lee, those students killed in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. And you've talked about how earlier that was where parents were picking up their kids. In the last hour or so, it's been a place where these parents are getting the worst news they could imagine.
Exactly. The parents who are still left inside of the Civic Center here behind me, they're in different rooms because there's also voting happening in the Civic Center as well. But the parents there are holding on to their loved ones, holding on to each other as they have this shared grief of what they are experiencing and what the next years of their life are going to look like, because either their children or whether that they're related to the teacher in some way, their lives were taken away tragically today here in Uvalde. That school you mentioned, it's made up of 2nd through 4th graders. We just heard that from the Uvalde Police Department Chief, Pete Arredondo. He was saying it's 2nd through 4th grade inside of that elementary school. He wasn't sharing a lot of details with us, only confirming that there were in fact deaths and injuries in relation to this shooting that happened here today. But where we got a lot of this information, that was actually from Governor Greg Abbott. And to my understanding, we have some sound from him now. Let's go ahead and listen to that together.
When parents drop their kids off at school, they have every expectation to know that they're going to be able to pick their child up when that school day ends. And there are families who are in mourning right now, and the state of Texas is in mourning with them for the reality that these parents are not going to be able to pick up their children.
And the governor said it perfectly there. He said there's families in Texas right now who are in mourning, and those families, a lot of them are still inside of this Civic Center, some of them coming out of there crying, holding on to each other. We talked about an eerie silence in this area, and the silence is broken by the sound of people crying. We heard a woman screaming in the parking lot as she was taken to her car after getting the worst news they could ever imagine. And we're going to move out of the way here and give some people space to get through, because that's the most important thing. Families here who are experiencing this need to have arms and love wrapped around them in this moment, because they're going through the worst days of their life. You see them holding on to each other through there as they check in at that Civic Center and wait to hear news, either from officials or from other families that are still left inside. It's an incredibly sobering experience here, because it is It is heartbreaking that we're experiencing this with them, and we want to let everyone know that they're in our thoughts and in our prayers. We're going to wait here at the Civic Center for more information. We know more information is coming from officials here. We're just waiting on that to actually start. We were told we can ask more of our questions and your questions at home in just a few moments. For right now, we're going to send things over to Garrett Berger. We understand he's at the school. It's about a mile away from where we are right now. Garrett?
Thank you, Lee. Garrett, this is just a horrific event that happened today. Talked about what is happening right now at the shooting scene at that elementary school.
Well, Steve, this was supposed to be just 2 days before school got out. This is supposed to be a joyous time right now. We should be hearing kids laughing right now. Instead, we're seeing law enforcement swarming over the campus. That looks like a mobile command center we're here, and that's the Texas Rangers setting up right here outside of the school. We're seeing law enforcement, local, federal, state, all around the school here as they keep the campus on lockdown. Everybody's been evacuated. There is nothing here but law enforcement and a crime scene at this point. However, some people also hoping there might be answers. We talked to at least one father who showed up here after he said he couldn't get answers about his 4th grade daughter's whereabouts at the Civic Center where they were supposed to be able to pick kids up.
I just noticed that there was no buses, and yeah, because I've been there since 1 o'clock, and it's already 3 o'clock, and 2 hours later. So just confused and worried. I'm trying to find out where my baby's at.
Now, I did just speak with that father again over the phone just minutes ago. He says he still doesn't have any more information. He gave his information to a Texas Ranger, I believe he said, and he said that also they've checked several different hospitals, thinking that maybe his 4th grade daughter, a 10-year-old girl, might be there. But as of right now, no luck so far. But on the other hand, that could end up being good news. He and his family obviously holding out hope right now. Now, we've seen other people come through, some who appear to be family members, others who just appear to be members of the community, shocked by what's happened at this school, which sits in the middle of a neighborhood, shocked by the age of the victims and the fact that it could happen here. But unfortunately, if there's one thing we have learned, it can happen anywhere. Live in Uvalde, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News. Back to you.
Some information.
Very well said, Garrett. Thank you. And I want to thank you and Lee for what you're doing.
By the way, hold on.
Yeah, let's get Lee. Do you want us to take your live shot?
I think we're hearing that there's an address change for where we're going to have this other press conference. Our photojournalist Gavin is over getting that information for us right now. So that's, I believe, what is happening. I'm going to try and eavesdrop and listen in here. We're hearing that we're going to be moving to the Uvalde County Fairplex. That's where we were told earlier we would initially be moving to. So that's what he just said. We're going to be changing locations here shortly. So that's where this next press conference where we'll be getting more information, get a chance to actually ask some questions. That's where that's going to be happening at, guys.
Great. Lee Waldman, Garrett Berger, live on the scene. Thank you guys very much for what you've been doing and how you've been covering this tragedy in that small town.
We are awaiting information, hopefully more information about what unfolded earlier in Uvalde, but already the tragedy has spilled into San Antonio a bit.
Our Tim Gerber at University Hospital, where some of those victims have been taken. And Tim, I don't know if you heard me just moments ago, but I have information that another patient may be on the way there right now.
Yeah, Steve, I reached out to Elizabeth Allen, the Director of Communications here at University Hospital, to confirm that information you're hearing. I have not gotten a response from her at this point. I can tell you that throughout the afternoon, since we've been here for several hours, we have seen a couple, maybe 4 helicopters landing here. Some of them were the traditional Air Life hospital helicopters that you see land here. Others were ones that didn't really look familiar. So we're not quite sure if more patients have been brought here, transferred from Uvalde to continue their care here. But we do know there are at least 2 victims here. A 66-year-old woman who was injured in that shooting. She is in critical condition tonight. And we also do know that there is a 10-year-old little girl who went to school today thinking it was near the end of the school year, and now she finds herself here in a hospital fighting for her life. She is also in critical condition. That was the last update we had. That was about an hour ago. The hospital system putting out another tweet just a few minutes ago, basically saying if you are looking for ways to help, please come here, give blood. Their donor room is open. So we're continuing to wait for more information. When I asked earlier if there was going to be any sort of news conference regarding this, they said that they were not planning on it. So basically, we've been getting our updates through text from the communications department, as well as their texts on Twitter. So we'll keep listening in, and we'll pass on information as it becomes available. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you so much, Tim. Meantime, President Biden has been briefed on the horrific news of this elementary school shooting in Texas, and will continue to be briefed regularly as more information becomes available. And he's going to be holding a news conference apparently at 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah,
around 7 tonight. His prayers, he says, are with the families impacted by this awful event. Again, he will speak this evening when he arrives back at the White House. He's been overseas on a trip. That's according to Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Again, we are expecting that to happen around 7 o'clock tonight.
And another reminder, of course, KSAT 12 News is all over your social media platforms. We will keep you up to date on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter with the newest developments. You
can also stay up to date on KSAT.com. We're going to check back with our crews in Uvalde in just a bit. But again, to reiterate what we know right now, 15 people have been killed in an elementary school in Uvalde, Robb Elementary, an elementary school for second, third, and fourth graders, 14 students, 1 teacher. Those are the 15 people killed. We also know the gunman was killed, presumably by law enforcement. This all taking place around 11:32 this morning, according to Uvalde police.
We also are being told, authorities have not confirmed this, but we're being told continuously this afternoon, in fact, that the shooter, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, killed his grandmother in Uvalde before then going to Robb Elementary and opening fire at the school. The children, of course, have been trained for active shooter drills. No doubt that was put into effect, but it appears as though this Salvador Ramos did a lot of damage before the children could escape, some of them breaking through windows to get out of their classrooms.
Yeah, he killed his grandmother, went to Robb Elementary. We know he is a student at Uvalde High School, and he is a U.S. citizen.
We're going to continue our coverage of this massacre at Uvalde Elementary School in just a bit.
We're also going to check in with Sarah Spivey about the severe weather that could be developing overnight. A lot to cover. You're watching the news at 5. We'll be right back.
We are back with more on that mass shooting inside Uvalde Elementary School, and we just got some new information, a correction, in fact.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion whenever an incident like this happens. Texas Governor Greg Abbott incorrectly identified the suspect, the alleged gunman in this case. It is Salvador Ramos, is the 18-year-old who is the alleged gunman who was killed by law enforcement, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos. Want to point that out before we go back to Robb Elementary, where our Garrett Berger has been for most of the afternoon. Garrett, you said that this is very much a community school. There are neighbors right next to where this played out. Have you talked to any of them? I mean, we've heard that they heard the gunshots from their homes.
I did. I spoke with one man who came down. Nobody who was in the vicinity when this happened. But, we have heard from people who, don't have a direct connection to the school. They don't have family here. Or maybe at most they have, a friend of a family member who works over here. But they have come out curious to see about what's happened here at the school. One man, just saying he couldn't believe that it could happen here. But unfortunately, it's a common refrain that we hear all too often at these mass shootings, which, as we've seen before, can happen anywhere.
Garrett, there are a lot of questions as to who did what and when. We're understanding that Border Patrol actually did play a role in taking this gunman down.
Now, I don't know exactly what role they had played. Unfortunately, did see some Border Patrol personnel out here, but they wouldn't give any details on Border Patrol's role in this. But we're seeing law enforcement members of law enforcement agencies from the federal, state, and local level out here locking down the scene. This trailer over here, over to my right at the edge of the school, that's actually what appears to be a command center. We've heard that's for the Texas Rangers. I'm seeing FBI, I saw DEA, HSI, guys heavily armored up. That's the investigative arm of DHS. They work with Border Patrol, of course, Uvalde County sheriffs and DPS troopers. Basically, anybody and everyone who's in a law enforcement capacity that would cover this area is here, it would seem. It's a very heavily trafficked scene by law enforcement as they're trying to figure out exactly what happened here at this school that cost so many young lives this afternoon, just 2 days shy of when school was supposed to let out for the summer.
Like you said, Garrett, this is supposed to be a time of anticipation, not for something like this to happen. You're supposed to be thinking about your summer break. But you talked about FBI, Border Patrol. We do know the Homeland Security Secretary saying that Border Patrol was on the scene. They helped law enforcement, also helped with some of the survivors and helped give medical care on the scene. It looks to me like from the last time that we talked to you that there are more people actually on the scene now than there were just a few minutes ago. Are you seeing activity pick up there?
A lot of it, quite frankly, is media attention. Unfortunately, when an event like this happens, everybody comes down because it's a big story and everybody wants to make sure that we're covering it correctly and justly. So we're getting a lot more reporters in. We are seeing more family members and members of the community show up at the scene. So it is much busier, and we're seeing a lot more law enforcement vehicles. As I mentioned, there is that command trailer. Right now it's hard to get a head count of everybody, but it is picking up activity, but it is still relatively calm when you consider the frantic emergency that happened just a few hours ago as young children and teachers trying to save their own lives in the face of a madman with a gun.
All right, Garrett, I want to update something. We just got some breaking news from the Associated Press, and we were talking about the Border Patrol being on the scene. The Associated Press is reporting that a Border Patrol agent who was among the first law enforcement officers on the scene was shot and wounded by the gunman. The agent is in the hospital in good condition, and that's according to the Associated Press, reporting that just moments ago.
Yes, we had heard that some officers were injured in the takedown of this suspect, and so this is the first confirmation we have of exactly what they were talking about, because apparently there was a struggle.
Yeah.
And now we're getting more information about that. Meantime, we do want to take a look at our weather, because that is also going to be breaking news probably later on tonight.
That's exactly right. We have the chance for some severe storms from midnight to 7 a.m. tonight. And although rainfall amounts have been disappointing over the last few days, we have a very good chance for some healthy rains around San Antonio. I want to tell you what you should plan for and what you should be watching for. You need to plan for a line of storms moving through at 12 a.m. to 7. Let's go ahead and take those graphics so that you can see what I'm talking about. Frequent lightning, gusty winds, heavy downpours, and even some power outages are possible. 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. Widespread rainfall, beneficial 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. But there could be pockets of 2+ inches of rain. So the things we're watching out for are severe wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Some flooding issues could be possible in those spots that get more than 2 inches of rain. And I'll show you the setup here before I show you the future cast. Here across the state of Texas, you can see just how active everything is right now. We've got severe watches, severe thunderstorm watches across central Texas and northwest Texas. You can already see the line of storms developing there along and ahead of that front. So as I take you through the future cast, it's going to be quiet in San Antonio until, again, about midnight. As we go into the overnight hours, this is midnight to 1 a.m., we'll start to see that line in the hill country starting to approach San Antonio, and it's the leading edge of whatever line develops that could produce those 70+ plus mile per hour wind gusts. So we're going to be watching that carefully. Going forward in time to about 3 o'clock in the morning, you can see just how much rain could be falling around the San Antonio metro area and even out toward areas like Hondo. Within this line, there could be pockets of up to quarter-sized hail. But by far the biggest thing to watch out for with these storms tonight is going to be that potential for damaging wind gusts. By the early morning commute, so we're talking 5 a.m. If you're an early riser, have to get out there early, there could be some lingering showers and storms, especially southeast of San Antonio. And during the morning commute, we still could have some damp spots out there. So continue to check back in with us. We're going to be live overnight as those storms push through San Antonio if need be. And then looking at the rest of the day on Wednesday, we'll be seeing skies clear by midday and it'll be noticeably cooler. So your KSAT 12-hour forecast shows fairly quiet through the early evening hours here in the 80s, but it's after 10 p.m. closer to midnight that we'll really see showers and storms become more likely with severe weather possible, 70% chance, and that'll continue into the early morning hours of your Wednesday before tapering off after about 7 o'clock in the morning. Then as we look into the rest of our Wednesday, we'll be seeing temperatures much cooler, only in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Northeast winds at about 10 to 20, gusting up to about 25 miles per hour. Then after our chance for storms tonight, the tap turns off and we really start to warm up. Temperatures will be climbing into the mid to upper 90s by the weekend. Memorial Day is going to be hot. Highs will be in the 90s. I'm going to continue to keep tabs on things. Please keep that KSAT Weather Authority app handy. We'll send you updates as need be.
Thank you, Sarah. And of course, we continue to wait for a news conference from Uvalde with the very latest on what has happened there with this tragic, horrific. I mean, there's not even really words to describe what happened inside an elementary school there.
Our worst nightmares come true. We'll be right back.
We have an update on the shooter. This is a picture of him, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos. He is the alleged gunman who went into Robb Elementary and killed at least 15 people. We know he is a student at Uvalde High School. He's a United States citizen, and that he allegedly killed his grandmother before he went into the school.
We are not sure about the weapon. We were told earlier that no weapon had been recovered at this time. It is still an active crime scene at Robb Elementary School, so we don't know exactly the methods that he used, except that there was a handgun, possibly a rifle. Salvador Ramos, again, a high school student, 18 years old, so you can only assume that perhaps he was at graduation age, just a few days away from graduating or had already graduated from the high school. We will no doubt learn much more about this young man and his motives and what was happening in the days before this shooting. But for right now, all we can do is show you his picture and say, this is who we believe committed the massacre.
We know this is a time when a lot of people want to do anything they can to help. And right now, perhaps the best way is to give blood. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center has already delivered 25 units of blood to Uvalde today. This is actually video of them taking boxes full of blood to helicopter pilots that are taking it to Uvalde Memorial Hospital. They are taking it today. This happened just moments ago. But the supply was already low even before this incident.
So we are really encouraging people to schedule an appointment, come in and donate. Walk-ins are available. So we can help rebuild the blood supply. This is going into a weekend that we already knew was going to be difficult because of Memorial Day. So we'll need all the help we can get to rebuild the blood supply.
We know there's a blood drive tomorrow in Uvalde. That is at the Herbie Ham Activities Center from 9 in the morning till 2. That's in Uvalde. You can also give blood here if you'd like to donate. The South Texas Blood and Tissue Center has 7 donor rooms in our area. That includes the main donor pavilion on I-10. You can make an appointment right now at southtexasblood.org. University Hospital also has a donor room where people can give blood.
See, there is something you can do. We will be right back with more information. We are still waiting for a news conference that's going to hopefully offer us more details on what happened in Uvalde.
We're going to continue our coverage right after this.